And welcome back, everyone. If you haven't watched the last video, go ahead and take that look. We're looking at Berestove and Kuzmivka once again, and I'm going to be reading off some of your solutions, the top 3 comments from the last video. And I understand that none of us are actual statisticians, but it's still fun, it's still good training if you are in the military, and I think it also just really shows, especially with Google Earth, you can see an actual position and find out why this war is going the way it is. So anyway, let's look at the top 3 solutions. Well, actually top 4, because Liam was the top liked one, with very simple: attack a random airfield with 1,200 men and still not take it. Great one, dude. I appreciate it. But no, we are not the Russians. We're gonna take this more methodical. Still made me laugh. J&G is the actual first suggestion. He's saying he would send some troops through the little forest thing on the left side of Berestove. Okay, so I think he's talking about through here. Alright, so he's going to walk in through here and take more of a left approach. Okay, and then from there, they can push into the forest on the other side next to the river. Okay, so he's talking about maybe this river? Looks kind of like a lake or something. I don't know, a little creek. But he's saying, like, try and take it from this side, which I kind of like. I mean, you could potentially get into this forest, sneak into this forest, sneak into this area, go real slow, and then you're in Kuzmivka. You're within rifle range at that point, which I actually really like. He was saying you could even just set up some support by fires in these tree lines here. Let's take a look if there's any hill. Looks like there is a hill, but maybe you could set up right here and get a support by fire on Kuzmivka and even keep the people from Novoselivska at bay. I like that solution, dude. I like that solution. Go on the left side. That seems a lot better than go on the right side, which is just farms. Nice one, dude. We're going to be looking at the next one. The next solution that was liked was from Lazarus, and he's saying, I think control of that hill in between the villages is useless. Like you said, the Russians aren't going to be able to be within rifle range from the hill's peak, and any visible positions on the hill may be more of a liability. So yeah, he's talking about this hill, if you guys remember. If we're looking at Berestove, this hill right here, that is in between both these villages, it's useless. I mean, like, you can't move through this tiny little forest. They're gonna kill you. You can't move through the fields. I mean, you can't even, like, if you observe, where do the observers go once they get artillery? Literally, eventually, it's going to happen. So yeah, I think he's got a good point there. And he's saying that the only plan of attack he can see here would be to carry out a sporadic night raid on the Russian trenches before retreating back to Berestove. You can use the tree line under the cover of darkness, and the raids focus on casualties, like producing casualties, taking prisoners, destroying hardware, and wearing down morale. And I think that's a really brilliant idea, and that's actually what they do, like, currently. That's usually how these frontline positions go. If you do want to go and infiltrate them, it's going to be at nighttime. You're going to be using drones. A lot of times the Ukrainians sometimes can get their hands on night vision, sometimes on thermal. Not everybody, though. In the U.S. military, we say that we own the nights. All right, that's a saying, but it's very much not for the Russians or the Ukrainians. They don't own the night. Nobody owns the night, and a lot of times they don't do anything. So anyway, I really like that idea, though. I mean, you can get in there with, like, subsonic rounds, which they do hand out special forces teams, and you could get freaking close there at nighttime. And they don't have night vision. A lot of the people in these trenches are DPR, and they don't really have night vision. So, good idea, man. And he's talking about once you wear down the morale, you do some raids and stuff, maybe the Ukrainians can push into their trenches and use them against them, then this village isn't even viable. I mean, where are the Russians going to hide? These things aren't defendable. I mean, you've seen in my first combat video. These villages are, I mean, you're toast if you stay in them. So, I actually like that idea. Just take these trenches around, do some raids. If you have, like, better training and stuff, you'll be able to take these trenches at nighttime, especially if you have night vision. And then from there, it sounds grim, but this is World War I like. I think that wasting armor on just these 2 villages isn't the best idea, or artillery on this position, which I could not agree with more. I mean, look, this is not a war like the U.S., goes into, like, Iraq or something. This is, Ukraine isn't the bigger army of the 2. They can't be wasting tanks and stuff just for this little town area. And the last one we're going to be looking at is Reject Works, who's saying, I'm just a civvy, but the classic L-shaped attack. Okay. But first, you need to do drone surveillance and grenade drops on officers if they're found, motor crew, any equipment, armored vehicles, snipers. So yeah, he's doing a big reliance on drones. And I really like that. I mean, you can see all the videos that are coming out with drones and stuff where they just send a drone up with a tiny little bomb. You know, I shared a little piece of that in my, I think I posted a video a week ago about that. And you can just get them over here, not only do surveillance, but you can drop bombs and really do some good work. But the only problem I can see with that is that, yes, these drones can be successful, but if it is found that, like, there are drones strapped with bombs and they're dropping bombs, the Russians, I mean, imagine yourself in that position. Not only would you camouflage better, but you would put overhead cover so that if you hear a drone, which oftentimes you can, or if you suspect a drone, you can just hide in this bunker all day, and a tiny little bomb strapped to a Mavic isn't gonna do much. Not only that, the Russians do use, I don't know what to call it, EMP. They make it so that if you fly close to them, and they have systems like this, and I don't know if this tiny village would have it, but they do have systems in place where if you drive too close, and this happened to us many times in your ball client, and it would just lose frequency and it would go down, and sometimes we'd have to go and retrieve it, and it was very dangerous. Anyway, he's saying that an L-shaped attack would be fantastic, so that way you can have some sort of frontal attack, taking up a lot of the fire, and then people maneuvering on the right, then you can just sweep through. I appreciate, I know that, you know, most of the audience here are civilians or even younger crowd, but I think it's still very interesting to look at the options, and I like the drone idea. Maybe a combination of the two. Maybe some drone bombs, maybe some big surveillance, and also coming in through here, maybe a little L shape, put in some troops here, and, you know, distracting them, support by fire on this hill right here. Maybe just like a platoon would be able to handle this, perhaps. So that's it, first of all. I appreciate all the comments. I read all of them. But I do want to say that for the future videos, I will be going down into areas such as, you know, places I can't find right now because the Ukrainian map is so difficult to look at. Where's this? Yeah, Luhansk, okay. Yeah, I'm way out. Anyway, we're going to be looking at actual, like, frontline positions next, and I'm going to be telling you what we know about that position, how many Russian troops are there, what we know about the Ukrainian position. I probably will not say exactly because, you know, OPSEC, but this is all public knowledge anyway, if I were to find it. And we're going to be talking about how the Ukrainians could, you know, come in from below Kharkiv and attack Lysychansk. Okay, the Ukrainians have this many tanks, and they have this many crew, and Lysychansk has this many things, and, yeah. Anyway, appreciate it, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Maybe it'll be a video like this, maybe it won't. And see you guys later. Peace.